Some movies just work better in a matching climate. Like The Thing, it just hits different in the heart of January, as opposed to August. If you prefer to watch Captain Ron in November, you just hate happiness. And let's be honest, Jaws peaks in July. And maybe it's the summer setting, or when school's out they do these marathons of the series as a kid. But we are currently in Jaws season. And its first sequel, surprisingly enough, is far better than it has any right to be. Somewhat similar to, I'd say, Psycho 2 or even The Fly 2, where the mere existence of a part 2, a sequel, just seems like a bad omen. But somehow Jaws 2 did not the bed. So today let's break down why, flaws and all, it holds up as a great B-movie sequel, and discuss the scene that defines it. I'm Lance Vlcek, and this is Scene Breakdown. Jaws, and all of its production issues / delays that pushed the film's original December opening into the summer, ended up creating this summer blockbuster. It's a masterpiece, and rightfully so. The directing is perfect, with a young Spielberg having an innate talent of blocking and framing, Oscar-worthy performances, and real, tangible tension, wrapped up in one of the best scores of all time, courtesy of John Williams. Add onto this the technical difficulties that forced the shark to be implied far more than it was shown, and you have filmmaking history. Now, how the do you follow up that? How does one even make a sequel to Jaws?
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Here's a little condensed version of its history. Howard Sackler, who was an uncredited writer on the original and co-writer on Part 2, pitched Universal on a prequel instead of a sequel, which of course they passed on. In fact, Part 2 had a messy production. John D. Hancock was the original director, filming for over a month at least before being let go. Universal wasn't happy with his darker tone, and the dailies did not impress him. Similar to Piranha 2 with James Cameron, he was promptly fired and replaced by a more seasoned director. Jonas Schwartz came aboard, along with Jaws writer Carl Gottlieb, for a rewrite to lighten things up. And then Jaws 2 became what it is today. And I've always said that there is a certain B-movie charm to this sequel, and it's what Jaws would have been if not for, divine movie intervention. I mean, this sequel is such a wild beast to look back on. Part fun monster and slasher movie, upping the shark tax, picking off teens, and dying in a grand over-the-top death. Yet it still tries to be a drama, with Brody angrier at life and fearful of his son's safety. It's both schlocky and poignant. It's bizarre, and strangely enough, why this movie is respected more than you'd expect. It's because they kind of pull it off. Listen, of course, there are pacing issues, cardboard cutout characters, and some unintentionally hilarious parts. But it holds its own far better than it should, and has more than a few iconic moments. But before I dive into what I feel is the defining scene, I think it's appropriate to dig into some of the runner-ups, as a couple of these could have easily made the pick.
Before we continue with our video, here's a reminder to click the Store tab on any of our JoBlo channels and browse our collection of the latest and freshest designs in our merch store. Go get you some.
For starters, the boat ambush. On a technical level, it's tight, with great movement, chaotic yet sensible. You don't really give a shit about these characters, but you do feel the stress. The sharks zipping around, everything is madness. And of course, pulling Michael up in the nick of time, giving us this quintessential shot. I don't care if you can see the mechanics of the shark, this is great. Of course, I can't leave out my helicopter guy with a fantastic Omnish beard. Poor guy's just trying to make it through the day. It's a great set piece, with this snapping helicopter blades destroying the remaining boat's sails, a nice touch to kill any remainder of hope. And then there's the ending. Is it dumb? Absolutely, but that's why it's so iconic. I mean, Universal Studios, and to be honest, I only acknowledge Orlando, had the cable bite as its finale. It's creative and absurd. It's a level of over the top that probably fits more in line with Jaws 3 or 4. But because of the directing from Jonas Schwartz and a pissed off Roy Scheider, the shark jumping into its own demise is dumb fun that somehow feels right. Also, real quick, contractual obligations be damned, even though Scheider hated this fucking movie, he absolutely shows up to work and owns it. I mean, that town hall meeting...
And you better do something about this one, because I don't intend to go through that hell again!
Or even him freaking out emptying his gun into the water. It's just great. There was a certain level of class in acting that we just do not have today. Because this has that classy and cinematic 70s style, mixed with its B-movie plot, Jaws 2 just has this strange vibe to it. But to me, all of this, what makes Jaws 2, is one scene in particular. Set against the beautiful and beachy backdrop of Amity Island, the scene starts with some innocent fun, the kind of thing you'd try and do drunk on vacation, with Terry enjoying life. Cinematographer Michael Butler paints a carefree day with filmic sea blue shimmering water, clear skies, and we get the stalk. The director holds back enough to build some genuine tension, POV following shots, a well-placed fin, the monster. And yes, the shark is a stand-in for a monster. It always has been. More so here. It's lurking just beneath the surface. We get footage of a real shark going for the kill. And of course, now it's driver Diane's turn. You see, Terry's kill is more in line with the style of the original. It's the calm before the storm. And one, this employs with precision. The setup and focus is on the chase. But Diane's kill is the B-movie bridge that gives Jaws 2 its identity. The shark goes full attack mode, ramming the boat, like a great theme park ride. Just this moment is nothing like what we've seen before. The way it's shot and blocked is the switch to the style of the sequel. Even when showing the shark, Spielberg had a method where he would cut with purpose, scare through the edit. But this ramming scene is pure popcorn fun. It's frantic in a very purposeful manner. I mean, the shark has a clear grasp of the task at hand. It's acting in a more intelligent way. We've dropped the charade of the shark to give us the creature it always was meant to be. This is great. Why even try to drive the boat to shore, which is suspiciously close? See, here Diane just freaks out, decides that dousing a water-dwelling creature with gasoline to be the best option, and pretty much misses and covers herself. Panics a bit more, then shoots a flare in the boat. I'm not saying that this was a foolish move. Maybe her pain tolerance is stronger. Listen, I'm not here to judge folks, but
What the fuck?
it does happen to blow her to bits, which may have been a bad move. It's outrageous and so schlocky that you can't help but love it. It even gives the shark a cool facial scar and a reason for revenge. And if you don't think this thing is more aggressive after that embarrassing slip-up, you don't know your monsters. It's so wild and ludicrous that it's the cover. It's a selling point of Jaws 2. This is a scene that defines it. It balances the more held-back suspense of the first and the teen slasher edition in one fun scene. And this mix makes for something tonally odd, yet endearing. This doesn't just thrill, it lingers in the mind. A testament to the enduring charm of Jaws 2.
Seems like the world is moving on. Didn't stop to look around. Didn't give a shit if you're crashing down. You can close your eyes but not your skin. Don't believe what you refuse to see. Won't find a way in. Well, I can't ignore a certain thing.